In some of the most difficult mission fields to reach, God is still opening doors. One of those places is here in Myanmar's Irrawaddy region. A few years ago, an ASAP church planter named Henry entered an unreached village in Myanmar during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. The area was also facing political instability, so movement was restricted. Visits were limited, and in many places people were cautious about outsiders. But in this village, one family opened their home. Tar and Neela were a Buddhist couple, but they welcomed him in. Henry started with simple outreach, sharing meals with neighbors. Under the shade of a tree near the home, people would gather and listen as he shared the messages of hope. There were challenges. Because of the situation, he could only return occasionally. Some villagers were open, but others were openly resistant. And then for a long time, the visits stopped altogether. As the pandemic worsened and instability increased, the village became unreachable. Nearly 3 years passed without contact. But recently, the opportunity came to return. And when he did, Henry found that Tar and Neela were still there, and they welcomed him again. This time, they invited him not only to stay, but to hold worship in their home. The relationship built years before had not been lost, so the work began again, this time with deeper connection. People gathered in the home for prayer and worship. Meals were shared again, and soon the medical team from the local Adventist mission visited the village, offering free checkups and care. Needs were met in practical, tangible ways. And through all of this, trust began to grow. Then the local Adventist mission organized evangelistic meetings nearby, and transportation was arranged so that the villagers could attend. Many chose to go. At the end of those meetings, 23 people from the village made the decision to follow Jesus. Among them were Tar and Neela. Their decision marked the beginning of the first group of Seventh-day Adventist believers in their village. In the weeks and months that followed, more people joined. Today, that small group has grown to 36 members. They still gather in the same home where it all began, the place where meals were first shared, prayers were offered, and where faith quietly took root. And Tar and Neela, the couple who once simply welcomed a guest, are now faithfully serving, opening their home again and again so others can come, worship, and learn. Across Southeast Asia, the gospel continues to advance in unlikely places like this, through ASAP local missionaries serving on the front lines, and through those who choose to stand behind them in mission. Thank you for being a part of what God is doing in places like these. Because Jesus is coming soon, now more than ever, mission matters.